Computer, show me that Snyder Cut.
Here's what I found.
Steppenwolf, I don't care how spiky you are or how much I have to pay HBO Max, I'm taking you down again. Internets, we did it. We did it. We did it. Today is Tuesday. No, Monday. Today is Monday. This Thursday, the Snyder Cut is released. It just goes to show you, with enough hashtags and retweets, you can change the world. Early reports are that the Snyder Cut's amazing. Some influencers got early access and they're raving about it. I'm super excited. I wanted to celebrate in my own way. So I built a Steppenwolf back computer display. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the thoughts that went into it. And I'm going to talk about my plans to incorporate this inside of a much bigger, giant back computer. And then I'll also touch on my plans to incorporate that giant back computer inside of a giant Lego Batcave. Before we get into the video though, if you could do me a big favor and smash that like button. When you smash the like button, it lets the YouTube algorithm know that the video might not suck. Armed with this information, the YouTube algorithm might decide to share the video with other people like us. Anyways, let's get into the video. Hey there, and welcome to my channel. I'm Ryan, a random guy on the internet, also known as BrickBatDad. I'm a Batman fanatic that loves Lego. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. Today we got a ton of topics to cover. The first one being this motorized Steppenwolf that I built. The second topic is going to be my plans to put that Steppenwolf into a giant bat computer. And then the third is the giant Batcave that said bat computer will go into, and what all of that has to do with Minecraft. First, I've got this command center with Bruce Wayne on it. This is where he views the bat computer. I changed it a little from the last video. If you haven't seen my last video, it was a Croc computer, Killer Croc, and I had these bars and these clips down here. Those were light gray as well, so I changed these to black, and I think it cleaned up the lines on this thing so it looks simpler and makes more sense. That it looks now more like an actual hand railing versus the way I had it before. I think it looked like it was constructed out of bones or something. It's kind of weird. So I think this is looking better. I think it's going to be good enough to put in the final Batcave. This is real quick, but this is just a computer screen that's just a computer screen. Like you can use it for anything. I have a video on how to build it. I use this is the standard display that I've used many times for many different computers. It's no different really than the other ones, other than the fact that I outlined it in white. This used to be black. When I did the thumbnail for my last video, I put a line around the computer to draw attention to it, and I was like, wow, I really like the way that looks, and it really made it pop. So I tried to build it for real. And I really like the way it looks. It really kind of helps the border of it stand out. And I'll talk about it a little later, but I also am thinking about putting the back computer inside of like a dark cave. And so in that case, it really kind of helps for this to be white and for it to really have that contrast so you can see the border of the screen versus the rest of the cave or the darkness in the case that I'm thinking now. Okay, so that brings us to Steppenwolf. So let's do the aesthetic part first. So I wanted to obviously create something inspired by the Snyder Cut release coming soon. And I'd say the biggest part for that is just I made him more spiky. I put the spikes on his arms, which I don't think he actually has, but you know, it didn't have a lot of places to put spikes, but put them on his shoulders. Well, on both of his shoulders. I guess this is like his what is that called? Inner shoulder, or you know, lats or something. And this is on his. But anyways, these spikes are across his shoulders and on his arms, and he looks spikier. I think he looks more lean and more similar maybe to the version in Snyder Cut, at least more so than the official Flying Fox set that the headpiece and the body piece came from. This is supposed to be a mother box. I took some liberties here, I admit. Looks a little weird. Doesn't look like the movie, but I think it's recognizable. I used the new piece, one of the new pieces that came with this Dots panda animal. It's weird. It's like a keychain thing. You can kind of see the little hook in the movie. There's not a mother box that's floating in his hand like this. I did see a scene where, in the original movie at least, where the mother box were kind of floating along, so that's where I kind of got that idea. And so I wanted the mother box kind of floating in his hand, and then I wanted a little bit of movement from him, so I have him moving back and forth. And so basically you've got Steppenwolf is on a hinge here, and this lever attached to this gear here basically just moves him back and forth. The motor's kind of underneath this and powers that gear, which this gears down both of them, slows it down. I used a worm gear, but it was just too slow. So I just have the small gear, which is direct power, this large gear, which powers the up and down on the mother box, and then that this large gear goes into an axle here with another small gear that powers the large gear, another large gear here that moves back and forth Steppenwolf. So, and I have a tire here to kind of counterbalance all the weight that's on here, and then also the pivot is closer to this. That helps it. Helps the tire, even though the tire doesn't weigh as much as this thing, helps give it some leverage to pull that thing up so that it's really easy on the motor. The motor could handle it anyways, but the motion of the thing wasn't as smooth without that counterbalance. Oh, I also redid his axe. I think that the axe to me in the original set looked weird. It had too much gaps. It's in the movie, again, just at least the original movie, the axe didn't have a bunch of holes in it. It just had interesting stuff going on in it. So, oh, these shoulders here, those are like hammer pieces from used in various sets. But I thought they looked made pretty interesting looking shoulders. Joker computer, Superman computer, Gotham computer, DNA computer, Brainiac computer, Killer Croc computer, a Steppenwolf computer. Next step is a super duper bat computer, a super duper bat computer. It's getting mighty close to the time to assemble these things together to make a giant bat computer. If you've been paying attention, you may have noticed that I've got some sort of frame or crude stuff around the last two computers. That's because quietly behind the scenes, I've been developing this system that lets me rapidly build up and tear down and experiment with different cave structures. In this system, I have the concept of a slab. 3 slabs adds up to the height of a block. 1 block and 3 slabs are precisely the same height. 1 block is exactly 24 studs high in length, and also exactly 20 bricks high. Having the even math allows for easy building, whether stacking or snot building. Just like any normal dad, I do my giant Lego building in the kitchen. This system allowed me to rapidly build out these cave structures that I used to display my last 2 back computers. Through this process, it proved to me that this is the future for my next version of Batcave. They may not be pretty right now, but I was able to build them so quick and then pivot from this Killer Croc computer back over to this bigger cave-like structure. It doesn't quite look like a cave yet, but I was able to pivot so quick and change direction so fast, and also tear this down really quick when the wife has had enough, that I'm sold on this system. And I plan to do many videos on various things that I build with this system and how the system works in more detail. Make sure you subscribe if you're interested in that content. I built this giant Lego Batcave. Yeah, you did. Nice tan, by the way. But you're calling it a Batcave. Where's the cave? I don't see the... Oh, that's the cave? That looks more like a frame. How about we put some cave in this Batcave? And also, of course, it needs a Bat computer, which it also doesn't have. But we've already covered that.
Why is all this out this early this morning?
I need a shot of the caves.
What for?
For a video.
Go get the stuff done that needs to get done today.
Okay.